To Quinton Isaiah Burrow. Quinton Isaiah Burrow's a Bengal fan that one of my buddies knows he works with. And I give him credit, he's a diehard Bengals fan. He actually went to Tennessee and Arrowhead last week to watch the football game. But anyway, I'm going to give you a scenario, the multiple scenarios that I looked at to where the Bengals and Chiefs game. Tell you how it plays out. And I won't be wrong because, well, I know football. I not only played the game, but I know it. Anyway, I looked at so many advanced scenarios in this game and how the Bengals can win this game, and I can't come up with one. In fact, I tried coming up with scenarios that could keep this game competitive, and I can't come up with one. I don't see any scenario where this game is even close because if you look at the facts, Cincinnati Bengals do have a good offense, but they don't score that many points. Well, they score 27 points. I don't think their offense their offense is good, but they should score a lot more points. But here's the problem. Aaron Donald and, Von Miller. Aaron Donald will be the MVP, even though there's going to be 4 or 5 guys that are deserving of MVP because Matt Stafford's going to throw for over 400 yards, Cooper Kupp 12 for about 220, Beckham about 6 to 8 catches, Van Jefferson. They're all going to play a major contribution, major part in this victory. I don't see the Bengals secondary with Awuzie and Eli Apple even being able to slow this team down. Sean McVay, I like Zach Taylor, but Zach, you got to stop settling for field goals. You have the players, the weaponry to where you can go for it on 4th down, and he's going to need to score points. But in this game, points are going to be hard to come by. You remember the Tennessee Titans, what they did to Joe Burrow? 9 sacks. Well, get familiar with it because it's going to happen again. Aaron Donald is going to control that line of scrimmage, and Von Miller is probably going to have a 3 to 4 sack game. He could be MVP. Cooper Kupp could be MVP. Odell Beckham could be MVP. Jalen Ramsey, 2 interceptions, could be MVP. I mean, Eric Weddle, he's going to get an interception. He could be MVP. There's going to be multiple chances, multiple candidates. I just don't see this game even being remotely close. This was a bad matchup for you guys. If the Bengals would have won against the 49ers, I would say the Bengals would probably win that game because 49ers got a great defense, but their quarterback play could not combat or compete with Joseph Burrow. So I would like the Bengals against the 49ers. You got the worst matchup you could have gotten in the Super Bowl. Joe Burrow's a good quarterback. However, he's not Jesus. And it's going to take Jesus to win this game. But he's going to be under enormous pressure. And I thought when you guys played the Titans, you should have done a lot of quick passes to combat the pressure you were getting, screens, anything. But Zach Taylor didn't think so, and you guys struggled offensively. In fact, took a late second field goal to beat the Titans, even though the quarterback threw 3 interceptions. Like I said, everything that had to happen for the Bengals to get here, it did. The magical conjunction, Gil Renard, it happened. And it's a great run. It is a historic run. I'm not going to lie to you. I am envious. I am jealous. I wish it was the Browns. It should have been the Browns, but we drafted a midget quarterback with a mentally disturbed, deranged, stubborn head coach who refused to sit him because he wanted him to get injured. But that's another story for another day. In fact, if you look behind me, you'll see Jesus was nailed to the cross in Cleveland and also the INT, Baker Mayfield's people ask me what that is. That's Baker Mayfield's necklace. But anyway, I just don't see any scenario where the Bengals keep it competitive. I don't. This was a bad matchup for you guys. And it's going to be irritating as a Browns fan because I'm going to have to see Odell Beckham running around loud and just getting effusive praise for winning a Super Bowl. He's going to have a good game too, believe me. Also, I don't think the Bengals will repeat this, obviously. I think the Bengals they turn the corner. The Bengals have a chance if Mike Brown, see, this is a very, very challenging time because Mike Brown, at his advanced age, has a chance to build a pretty good franchise here. He has money, a lot of salary cap room. If he puts money into the franchise instead of being cheap like he's been, the Bengals could be formidable for years to come. You got the quarterback in place. You need to get that offensive line built, get some more pieces on defense, and you could be a pretty good team moving forward. Now, that being said, you got a lot of problems because the AFC North is going to be drastically different next year. The landscape's going to change a little bit. You're not going to have to bank on every team being injured like they were. Usually that doesn't happen 2 or 3 years in a row. And you guys became basically unscathed with injuries this year. So I think that the landscape's going to change drastically, but Mike Brown has a chance to, really make this a pretty good franchise if he spends the money. Now, if he doesn't spend the money, we'll go right back to where it was before. Because I look at the Bengals, honestly, to me, they're an 8-9, 9-8, 10-7, about 10-7. I'll give them that. They're like around 500. Good offense, could be a lot better. It should be a lot better, but it's just, I think the coach holds you back a little bit offensively. But I do believe The future is bright in Cincinnati, and it could be a lot brighter if Michael Daniel Brown spends money. But anyway, this was a bad matchup, getting back to the Super Bowl. I just don't see a scenario where you guys keep it close. They have too much weaponry. I mean, Cooper's going to work downfield. Beckham's going to work underneath. Van Jefferson. It's just too much weaponry for you guys to be able to combat, especially with that piss poor secondary you have. So it's going to get ugly quick, and on both sides of the ball, offensively for you and defensively. It just was a bad matchup. You would have, if you matched up against the 49ers, I'd actually pick the Bengals to probably beat the 49ers something like 31-10. And that's just based on Jimmy Garoppolo giving you 2 or 3 interceptions. But I would pick the Bengals over the. This was a bad matchup all the way. Like I say, every scenario I looked at, I don't see this game being competitive. But on the bright side, if Mike Brown in his advanced age decides to put some money in this squad, you may be able to attract some free agents, and you could sign some good players because you do need to make some free agent acquisitions. You need to build that offensive line up. And you know what people are saying? Well, the Bengals did it without an offensive line. That's true. And they made it to the Super Bowl without an offensive line. Well, that is going to come back to bite you, like I said. I said the Bengals should have drafted a lineman, which I still contest with that. But I will say this, without Jamar Chase, the Bengals ain't in the Super Bowl. Because Joe Burrow, as good as he is, would not have played this great without Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase changes everything. Now, last week, absolutely, T. Higgins stepped up. He stepped up big. And I don't think anyone anticipated a $500 million quarterback like Patrice Mahomes to shit the bed as bad as he did, but he did. We can't take that away from him. Patrice Mahomes will never be the same. And even though you guys will lose this game in an embarrassing fashion, I'm not going to say the Bengals will never be the same. I think you could be a good team, a force to be reckoned with, but unfortunately, in that division, you got the Cleveland Browns, the Baltimore Ravens, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And 2 of those teams you own, and the one team you don't own is my franchise. But I will give you credit. You're in the Super Bowl. It was a magical conjunction run, Gil Renard. But I see the final tally being, like I say, it could be Matt Stafford, could be Jalen Ramsey, could be Von Miller. It should be Von Miller, but it's going to be Aaron Donald because he's going to control that line of scrimmage and enable Von Miller to get the 4 sacks that he needs to bring the Rams back to the promised land. 48-19. The Rams win in the blowout. So Quinton Isaiah Burrow, he had a good run. You should appreciate it while it lasted because sometimes it's never guaranteed. That's the video. That's my Super Bowl prediction.